Wait. You need to hear this. A living legend just said something about Shohei Ohtani that nobody expected. And once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. Hello everyone. Today we are not just talking about a baseball game. We are talking about a moment in baseball history that a legendary pitcher felt he had to speak about. Personally. Honestly. Without a filter. Shohei Ohtani just threw 8 innings. He allowed 5 runs. By the numbers, it was not his cleanest outing. And yet, a pitcher who spent decades dominating Major League Baseball came forward and said something that stopped the entire baseball world in its tracks. Not praise. Not criticism. Something far more complicated than either. Something honest. Let's set the stage first. Shohei takes the mound. From the very first pitch, you can see it. The ball is moving, the command is sharp, the hitters are uncomfortable. Inning after inning, he is working through the lineup with a kind of quiet dominance that only the truly elite can manufacture. His fastball is hitting its spots. His splitter is disappearing out of the strike zone at the last possible moment, making batters look completely helpless. Through the early innings, it feels like another masterclass. Then the cracks begin. Not because Shohei lost focus. Not because his stuff disappeared. But because this is Major League Baseball, and eventually, in the later innings, the body begins sending signals. The fastball velocity dips by a fraction. The command tightens. The opposing batters, professional hitters who study every single pitcher obsessively, begin making adjustments. 5 runs. 8 innings. Now here is what most people got wrong when they saw that final line in the box score. They saw 5 runs and called it a bad day. A legendary pitcher saw 8 innings and called it something else entirely. This is where the story gets extraordinary. One of the most decorated pitchers in Major League Baseball history, a man who spent his entire career understanding what it means to stand on a mound, to face elite hitters, to carry a team on his arm for 9 innings, sat down and spoke about what he witnessed. Not from the stands. Not from a comfortable television studio. He spoke like a pitcher. Like someone who knows exactly what 8 innings costs a human body. His first words were direct. I want to be careful how I say this, because people are going to misunderstand me. When I saw the final score, 5 runs, my first instinct as a former pitcher was to analyze what went wrong. That is just how we think. We are wired to break down every run, every mistake, every sequence that led to damage. So I started doing that. He paused. And then I stopped myself. Because I realized I was analyzing Shohei Ohtani the same way I would analyze a regular starting pitcher. And that is the mistake everyone keeps making. He leaned forward and got specific. 8 innings. Let that number sit with you for a moment. In today's baseball, complete games are almost extinct. Pitchers going 7 innings is considered exceptional. 8 innings is the kind of number you see once, maybe twice a season across the entire league. And we are talking about a man who does not just pitch. This is the part that stopped everyone. Because this was not a media personality offering a hot take. This was a man who threw tens of thousands of pitches in his professional career, who understood the physical and psychological weight of a single start, speaking with complete sincerity. When I was pitching my best seasons, he continued, I gave everything I had to just one job. Pitching. I ate for pitching. I slept for pitching. My entire existence on days I started was organized around one single purpose, to dominate hitters for as many innings as possible. And even then, 8 innings was a war. Every single time. He stopped again. Shohei went 8 innings today. 5 runs. And before that first pitch, he was already in the batter's box. Now here is where his opinion took the turn that surprised everyone. Most people expected him to defend Ohtani. To say the 5 runs don't matter. To brush it aside as an off day from an otherwise untouchable pitcher. He did not do that. I am not here to make excuses for him. He allowed 5 runs. That is real. Those runs went on the board. In a tight series, that number matters. I am not going to pretend otherwise because I admire him. Admiration does not change the scoreboard. The baseball world leaned in. But here is my honest opinion, the opinion I don't think anyone is saying clearly enough. 5 runs over 8 innings, from a two-way player, on a day when his stuff was slightly off, tells me something that actually frightens me a little. Frightens him. A man who faced the best hitters on the planet. Frightened. It tells me that on a day Shohei Ohtani was not at his absolute best, not fully locked in, giving up runs, working through difficulty, he still went 8 innings. He still competed. He looked directly into the camera. What frightens me is not what he did today. What frightens me is what today tells us about his ceiling. If this is his difficult day, 8 innings, fighting through 5 runs, refusing to quit, what does his perfect day look like? We have already seen some of those. And yet somehow, watching him grind through today, I feel like we still haven't seen his actual ceiling yet. The baseball community erupted. On social media, fans immediately split into 2 camps, those who heard the criticism and those who heard the deeper message underneath it. The debate raged for hours. Former players began weighing in. Analysts started pulling up the data. Because the numbers, once you actually look at them, are staggering. Pitchers who reach 8 innings in a start in today's game are extraordinarily rare. To do it while carrying the mental load of a designated hitter, processing at-bats, timing, pitch sequencing from the other side, adds a layer of cognitive demand that sports science is only beginning to understand. And yet here is Shohei Ohtani doing it. On a tough day. The legendary pitcher had one final thing to say. And this is what will stay with you. There is a version of this conversation where I sit here and tell you Shohei Ohtani is perfect. That every start is a gem. That 5 runs don't count when he's on the mound. I could say all of that and people would cheer and we'd move on. But that would be dishonest. And Shohei Ohtani doesn't deserve dishonesty. He deserves honest analysis. Because he is doing something honest himself, going out there every single start and competing completely, even when it isn't clean, even when the runs come. He exhaled slowly. My honest opinion after watching those 8 innings and 5 runs? I think we are so focused on his perfect outings that we forget something important. His imperfect outings are also historic. The fact that we are even discussing whether 8 innings and 5 runs is a good day or a bad day, that conversation itself tells you everything. For any other pitcher in baseball, 8 innings and 5 runs is a great day. For Shohei Ohtani, we are debating it. He smiled quietly. That debate, that is the Ohtani effect. And honestly, that might be the most impressive thing about him. 8 innings. 5 runs. One legendary pitcher's honest opinion. And somehow, by the end of it, Shohei Ohtani looks even more extraordinary than before. This is not just baseball anymore. This is history being written in real time. And we are all watching it.